Alchemy.
So if you didn't know, this is alchemy. This is using nature, using minerals, using different forms of matter to create different forms of matter. This was our science, our chemistry before anything. This is how we was able to transform, how we was able to manifest whatever we wanted to manifest. Salt is one of the most conductive minerals when it comes to electricity, along with water. So they magnetize, electromagnetics. The water can't escape the salt, so they combine together to create a new piece of matter. They creating a crystal, creating a new crystal with salt and water using alchemy. Using alchemy. That's alchemy. Alchemy, the medieval forerunner of chemistry, based on the supposed transformation of matter. It was concerned particularly with the attempts to convert base metals into gold, or to find a universal elixir. So they were turning any base metals into gold and finding a cure for anything. Alchemy is the practice of using spirituality or science to transform one type of matter into another. Alchemy is the historical precursor of chemistry. The most famous example of this is the quest to turn lead into gold. To turn lead into gold. So they was undermining the gold companies because they can turn lead into gold. They could turn any base metal into gold. Alchemy. There are 3 taboos for alchemy. Do not transmute gold, do not act against the government, and do not attempt human transmutation. 2 of these rules come from the government itself to protect itself from the economy.
So I'm going to teach you how spelling works. Let's start with Latin. Ni means no. Nic means nothing. Nic ello means I eat nothing. And ni kello means I don't know. And nic kello means I don't care. Now, Deo means God. Now, these words you can actually put all together and you get a phrase, and it sounds something like Nickelodeon or Nickelodeon.
Nick, 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 Nickelodeon. Nick, 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 Nickelodeon.
They didn't even bother pronouncing the extra N at the end of Nickelodeon. But what does this word or phrase mean? Let's break it down. Nick Elodeo. I eat nothing from God. Ni kalodeo means I don't know God. Or Nick kalodeo. I don't care about God.
Nick, 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 Nickelodeon.
Now, this phrase or spell, you can pronounce it however you like, because demons don't care about your accent or the extra consonants thrown in there. Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon. Doesn't really matter to them. This is how witchcraft and spelling works. Similar enough, works fine for them. People mispronounce my name all the time. Ryan, Brian, Francis. You think the demons care? You think the demons are like, oh, listen, buddy, you said my name wrong. I'm not showing up to the party till you pronounce my name right. Demons don't care. Close enough, they're showing up. Now, do you think Nickelodeon named their company that by chance? Or just a weird, silly coincidence? And I know some of you in the comments will be like, no, Brian, Nickelodeon comes from that one movie theater in Boston in 1909 where they would show movies for a nickel, and then they just added the Odin at the end that represented the music hall that was actually named after Odin, and nickel was actually named after Nike that got us a victory. So, nickel, victory, Odin. Odin. Victory of Odin. Who is Odin again? Oh yeah, a hybrid Nephilim fallen angel god. I don't really think you can actually get your way around this one. Or do you think maybe it's possible that everything in the media has been spun to make you not believe in God and to make you forget about the fallen angel Nephilim gods that were worshipped and still today control this entire world? And they still control the world today through witches and sacrifices and rituals and murders and bad things to children. And see, now you might understand a little bit more why, when you type in SpongeBob's address from his license, it used to take you to Jeffrey Epstein's Island. Oh, but that was probably just done by accident too, huh? Hey, you guys like my content or it's blessed you, please add me on Instagram or YouTube so that way I can continue to grow and provide more content like this for you guys. And it supports me, and that would be really awesome.
Is Nickelodeon pushing a satanic agenda against kids?
Only one day is left until the biggest annual live kids show on the planet takes place, Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. With Nickelodeon being one of the biggest cable channels for more than 20 years, it's time to dig deep into what Nick is all about. Nickelodeon was launched as Pinwheel in 1977, airing educational TV for 12 hours per day without commercials. In 1979, the channel rebranded as Nickelodeon, but a success story could not yet be written. Unpopular ratings kept the channel on the ground. Only after it began to promote itself as a child-friendly channel in the mid-1980s did Nickelodeon really take off. SpongeBob SquarePants even became one of the highest-ranked cable TV shows in the United States. Talking about SpongeBob,
finally, I couldn't speak to you today without mentioning our friend SpongeBob SquarePants. Believe it or not, SpongeBob marks its 10th anniversary in 2009, and we do in fact live in a SpongeBob world, because our beloved Sponge does capture the essence of what our brand really stands for.
So if SpongeBob is the core of Nickelodeon, it would be fair to check what the show's episodes are like, right?
Okay, that didn't work at all.
It only seemed to increase their appetite for wieners.
We need stronger tactics.
Right, something that would make Mr. Krabs' whole wiener thing blow right up in his face.
Yeah, blow up.
Make me lots of money.
Bye, Squidward. Bye, Mr. Krabs. Bye, Squidward.
You said bye, Squidward, twice.
I like Squidward.
Well, I guess I don't need this disguise anymore.
I think I need to take a shower.
So, let me get this straight. You're not a woman?
No.
Well, then you're fired. If anybody needs me, I'll be in my office for, I don't know, the next 20 years or so.
It makes one wonder why a TV channel that tries to portray itself as kid-friendly has such adult and occult themes in their flagship show.
This is honestly mind-blowing. This is a SpongeBob SquarePants conspiracy. We all know who SpongeBob is. We all know who this man is, Jeffrey Epstein. This is where the story gets really strange, and I'm not sure if it's a coincidence. So if you look here on SpongeBob's driver's license, his address says 124 Cone Street, Bikini Bottom, right? And if you Google 124 Cone Street, Bikini Bottom, St. Thomas, that just so happens to be the same address where Jeffrey Epstein's Island was located. Wow.
There's a whole thing called the Nickelodeon Creep Club. There's like 6 people who committed a child assault on Nickelodeon's team. So I'm gonna read it out to you. We all know the Dan Schneider guy.
Dan Schneider, yeah, he's like the main.
Yeah, he has the foot fetish. There was a guy who worked for post-production on SpongeBob.
No way.
Who got caught on that show to catch a predator. He got caught and then he got rehired.
The Chris Hansen thing?
Yeah, the Chris Hansen thing. And then he got rehired by Nickelodeon to keep doing SpongeBob.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Brian Peck, at the time he was working in Nickelodeon, helping with script writing. There's a video of him with Leonardo DiCaprio. Fucking weird to look.
Leo, as you know, is the latest, hottest, hunkiest teen idol there is.
Yeah, muscles.
Look, speaking of hunky, huh?
Yeah, he's a little bit touchy there. He's a little bit touchy.
Fam, you know what he worked on?
What?
Scripts for Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He assaulted somebody, he got rehired, and did it to Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Damn.
Did you know that Yoda from Star Wars is actually a demon? And we know he's a demon because his name is derived from the Hebrew word yada, which means to know, or knowledge, or knowing, or the one that knows. And we know George Lucas was referring to the Hebrew language because Jedi is also a Hebrew word, as well as Darth Vader, who happens to have Hebrew writing on his center chess piece. Now, what's the word for the ones that know in Greek? Oh yeah, it's daemon, which is the root derivation for demon. So in Greek, daemon, and in Hebrew, Yoda. Yoda is a demon, guys. And now it makes a little bit more sense why George Lucas actually filmed parts of Star Wars at the Tikal Temple, the Aztec temple where they sacrificed humans to gods and to demons. And see, now you know why Yoda is actually a demon.
The moon is not a physical object, it's a translucent plasma luminary. That's why you can see the blue sky through its dark spots in the daytime. I'm going to show you how this is possible before your cognitive dissonance removes any remaining intelligence left beyond your programmed view of reality.
With this piece I made of resin, I will show you the dome as seen in our firmament. Here are your stars, nothing more than bubbles, maybe contains gas or not. But only thing is an external light or a torch. There you have on your left the sun, and there you have on your right the moon. Very clearly you can see the yellow sun with daylight and white like in the night. If I turn it in correct angle, there you have your day and night. Do you see it? If I want to make an eclipse, I only have to put the light in a determined way and the two will combine. Boom, eclipses. All right, this is a simple way so you can understand how I see the firmament. Now you can come up with your excuses. There you can see two lights, yellow for the day as sun, white for the night as moon. There you have it.
Follow Unbind Your Mind and subscribe to my YouTube for more like this.
Remember Jesus' last words on the cross? Ili, ili, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? Well, did you know that those are only his last words according to Matthew and Mark? It's in the book of Luke that he says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And his last lines are actually, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. And then in John, the most interesting account in my opinion, first he says, Woman, behold thy son, and behold thy mother. I thirst. It is finished. Now, if all the disciples were there, why do they have different accounts of what his last words were? Elian, why are you so obsessed with Jesus? Are you Christian? No. But I've been obsessed with Jesus since I was a kid. The fact that we measure time according to when someone was here on Earth used to boggle me as a kid. And obviously I needed to find out everything I could about who he was because, why is this person so important? But anyway, back to the last words. Now, Christian scholars have pretty much reconciled these into the 7 sayings of Christ on the cross. But the fact is that you can't find all 7 in one book. The one I didn't mention being Luke 23:43. Truthfully I say unto thee, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. So different last words, as well as different accounts on who was saved that day. Was it the robber? Was it Barabbas? Was it no one? Now, in the Jewish faith, Jesus is generally considered by scholars to be a false prophet, because it's considered that the time of his coming isn't aligned with the prophecies of the true Messiah. And in the Quran, he was never unalived. What? Elian, you heretic. No, I'm serious. Now, regardless of your fate, let's just think about this for a second. In the Quran, the unalivement of Jesus is only spoken of in the past tense. And it comes at the end of the chapter An-Nisa, the women, which honestly makes a lot of sense considering that the biblical accounts of the last days of Jesus have a lot of women around him. And it's the women who follow him afterwards to the tomb, and the women who are sent to speak to the disciples. Honestly, women are so underplayed in the Bible. But anyway, Quran chapter 4, verse 157. The Jewish people said, we killed al-Masih, Isa, son of Maryam, the messenger of Allah, but they killed him not, nor crucified him. But it appeared like that to them. And those who differ therein are full of doubts. They have no certain knowledge. They follow nothing but conjecture. For surely they killed him not. The idea is that it wasn't Jesus himself, but the likeness of him that was put on the cross. And there is so much debate as to what that even means. In the Apocrypha and the Gnostic Gospels, Jesus is considered to only have ever been a likeness, as in he was never truly fully human, but mostly spirit, and therefore was incapable of suffering like a human. Now, all of this discussion was shut down by the church because this idea undermines the most fundamental tenet of Christianity, which was that Jesus suffered for our sins. But what do you think? Has the Messiah come and gone, or is he still on his way?